Are you considering moving to Luanda, Angola? Then this video is for you. Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. I'm really excited, especially anytime I get to talk about Angola. I feel like there's not a lot of information about Angola out there, and I really want to help as many of you as possible that are considering moving there. And this video today is going to do just that. I am going to be telling you a few reasons why you should move to Luanda, Angola. But before I get into the video, I wanted to remind you guys that I have created a Luanda, Angola activity list, and I will link it below in the description box to download it. It is over 40 things that you have to do when you either move to Luanda or if you're visiting Luanda. And it's not your typical sightseeing things. It's very unique, tailored list that I came up with after living there for almost 4 years. And be sure you're following me on Instagram because I am always in Instagram stories letting you guys know what I'm up to on a daily basis. And I also like to share some extra things about Argentina and Angola and expat life in general on Instagram that I don't get to on here. So be sure following me on Instagram. All right, guys, if you're ready to get into the video, go below, give me that like, hit that red subscribe button so you'll be notified when I release my next video. And let's talk about the reasons that you should move to Luanda, Angola. All right, I am going to hit it out of the ballpark with this first one, everyone. The first reason you should move to Luanda is you enjoy a challenge. It is no secret on this channel that I have told you before, living in Luanda is not easy. It is not a walk in the park. It is not a place to go to if you just want to have a very relaxing expat experience. It is a very hands-on, intense, sometimes expat experience, and it's going to be challenging. So if you are aware of the challenges that I've talked about, especially in some of my previous videos, and you know what you're getting yourself into and you're still excited, you're still ready, you still have that energy, then you should definitely consider moving to Luanda. The second reason you should move to Luanda is that you enjoy a coastal city. So obviously you guys know Luanda is right on the coast on the Atlantic Ocean, and that means there's a lot to do by the water. You can just have a nice relaxing walk or a jog along Luanda Bay there. You can go for really, really delicious food on the Ilia. And on the Ilia, you can also go to the nightclubs at night. The restaurants turn into nightclubs usually, or you can go to some of their private beach clubs and hang out for the day. There's lots of places to go to the water. You can go to Masulu Islands and hang out for the weekend or for the day. And there's so many fun things to do there as far as kayaking, just swimming, just relaxing, sunbathing. And of course, a lot of people like to go down south to Cabo Ledo for the day and hang out and enjoy the waves there, do a little bit of surfing. There's also whale watching that you can do. They have a yacht club. If you know someone that owns a yacht, you could hang out there. We actually did a video about the whale watching that we experienced, and I will link it down below in the description box for you to check out. But if you enjoy living in a coastal city, then you should consider moving to Luanda. The third reason that you should consider moving to Luanda is you enjoy warm weather year-round. Now, of course, during the dry season, it's going to be a little bit cooler. You usually can't swim during the dry season because it's just a tad bit too cool. And it's going to be warmer and stickier and rainier, of course, during the rainy season. I did a video on Luanda weather, so definitely be sure to check that out for more details on the weather. But overall, if you enjoy just nice temperatures, nice warm weather all the time, then you're going to enjoy living in Luanda. The next reason you should consider moving to Luanda is you're ready to see Africa. I cannot tell you how many cities you can visit from Luanda as your base. It has an international airport, of course, and it goes to so many countries. So it's a great place to kind of have as your home base and explore, especially sub-Sahara Africa. So whether you want to go on safaris or you want to go do some gorilla trekking or spend some time in South Africa or Cape Town or Johannesburg, there's so many flights and there's so much to do in sub-Sahara Africa. So if that sounds interesting to you, then you should maybe consider living in Luanda and using that as your hub to go to different areas in Africa. And I actually have some information about safaris coming out soon. We did probably 12 different safaris when we lived there. We absolutely loved it. We did one and we thought we were going to be done, and then we got obsessed and it was so much fun. And we kept going back and back, and I really want to share some of that information with you guys. So definitely hit that red button below. That way you'll be notified when I release some information about safaris. The next reason you should move to Luanda is if you know Portuguese and maybe even Spanish. Now, you know they speak Portuguese in Luanda. So if you speak Portuguese, your life in Luanda is going to be a lot easier. You're going to understand basically everything going on around you. And that's going to be really beneficial to having a successful expat life in Luanda. If you don't speak Portuguese, it's just that much harder. You have to try and learn a little bit of Portuguese. You have to figure out your way doing just everyday things. But if you already have that language knowledge, it's going to be so much easier. I'm actually kind of jealous. And if you know Spanish, then Portuguese and Spanish are pretty closely related. Not everyone can understand everything that's going on in either language, but there's definitely a lot of similarities. So just knowing some Spanish will definitely be helpful to you living in Luanda. So if you're considering moving to an African city and you haven't quite picked, but you speak Portuguese, I definitely recommend Luanda. And before I bring up my last point, I want to say that this last point and the first one are probably the most important ones when considering moving to Luanda. As a reminder, the first one was you are ready for a challenge. You know it's going to be challenging and you're ready to face that head on. That is probably the most important factor when moving to Luanda. And I would say the second most important factor is going to be that you have a lot of patience. So that is my last reason that you should move to Luanda. You are a patient person by nature, and that's going to be very helpful, honestly, probably in any African city, but especially in Luanda. The internet can be slow. The internet or your cable can take a long time, and I'm not talking one day, I'm talking weeks to set up in your home. Learning a completely different culture can be a little frustrating at times, and you have to be patient with yourself and give yourself grace. The traffic is terrible there, so get ready to be in your car for a long amount of time. And prices are always in flux. So whether it's a menu price at a restaurant where they just put a sticker over it all the time, so because it changes so often, or whether you're at the grocery store trying to buy eggs and bread, prices just constantly change because of inflation. So you're gonna need to have some patience when you move to Luanda, but if you don't have patience and you still wanna move there, you can do it. That is just a skill that you will learn the longer that you are living in Luanda. All right, friends, I hope this video was helpful for you if you're considering a Luanda move. I know that if one of them or any of them really resonated with you, then you should consider moving to Luanda, Angola. All right, friends, I will see you next week with a new video about expat life. Bye, guys.